Hey guys, it's Licious Kid from ClimaxCombo, and today we're back with another deck profile. This time I'll be deck profiling the strongest deck ever. No, I'm just kidding, but this time I'll be profiling my friends to Love or Darkness deck. And like I said, it's my friends. However, I played with it a decent amount, so today I'll be profiling it for him instead. But the deck is yellow-green. Revolves around this character Mikon and Yami. Oops, that's not Yami. Yami, and based around the traits of Housework and Transformation, which I will explain throughout the video. But yeah, if you want to see the deck in action, links will be in the description below. And this deck is fairly powerful, so if you guys are looking for a strong set, then maybe you guys can consider To Love or Darkness. And it's even getting another set in March, which is ridiculous. Like, what are you going to give this set? But, oh well. On to the deck profile. So, anyways, first of all, we got 3 of these Mikons, 500 power. She has the Housework trait. She's Housework and Ransel, but Ransel is not important. Just keep in mind she's Housework. So anyways, Mikon is 500. She has 3 effects. First of all, she's a 500 in front assist. Second of all, on play, you can mill the top 3 cards of your deck and put them to the waiting room. And lastly, she's anti-salvage. So during either player's battle phase, when that player salvages during the battle phase, all that player's characters loses 3 soul for the turn. So just like the one from Contact Collection, this deck has 0 salvage whatsoever. So this card doesn't really affect you. It just mainly affects the opponent if they're running salvage at all. So yeah, solid card, 3 of these. Just gotta move back and forth every now and then because it's just me today. Okay, everything looking good. Next up, we got 1500 Mikon. Once again, Housework trait. What she does is on play, you can pay cost, which is discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. If you do, choose a character in your clock, add it to your hand, then clock yourself 1 damage. So a good hand fix. Also, she's a brainstorm, so you can pay 1, tap 2 characters. Put the top 4 cards, of your deck to the waiting room. For every climax amongst those, search your deck for a character. Search your deck for a transformation or housework character. Show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So plus brainstorm and her first effect, you can discard a card to get a character in your clock added to your hand to then clock yourself 1 damage. Good hand fixing and the plus brainstorm, very solid. Next up, 3 of these Mias, 001K. What she does is when she gets reversed in battle, you can pay cost, which is pay 1, put her to the clock. If you do, look at top 2 cards of your deck and put up to 1 of them in your hand, and then put the other one to the waiting room. So, solid card, gives you advantage, and it pushes you faster to level 1. Next up, 2 of these Yamis, 002K. She has transformation traits, so these are the 2 characters of transformation, Mia and Yami. So this Yami, what she does is, her first effect can be activated twice per turn, and so whenever you play a transformation or housework character, she gets plus 1k till the end of the turn, and once again, it can happen twice per turn, so she can be 4k if you play 2 characters after her. And her other effect is she has a resonance with her level 3. So when she reverses an opponent's character in battle, you can pay cost, which is just reveal this level 3 in your hand. If you do, choose one of your characters, your other characters I should say, and then move it to the back row in rest. So you essentially can save a character with this Yami. If one of your characters are in reverse, you kill a character with Yami, put your reverse character back to the back row in rest, and since they're in rest, they don't get sent to the waiting room at the end of the turn, so it's alright. Next up, 2 of these Mias, 0035. Transformation trait. What she does is she cannot side attack, so oversized beater, but can't side attack, not too bad. And lastly, for level 0, just 1 of these Mikons, 002K, Housework trait. On play, you get to choose a transformation or housework character and give it plus 15 till the end of the turn, and she can't give it to herself, so just 1 of these because it's really freaking expensive and hard to get. So that's it for level 0. I think that's 15, 3, 7, 10, 14, yep, 15 level 0. On to level 1. Level 0 is fairly lackluster in this deck. No runner, nothing too crazy. But when level 1 is when the fun starts. So first of all, we got 4 of these speed cons, 1045 transformation, or I'm sorry, housework trait. So our first effect is if all your characters are transformation or housework, she gets plus 1k power. So that's always going to happen because every character in this deck is transformation or housework. So she'll always be 5/5. And her other effect is she combos with Taiyaki Keyholder, which is this gold bar right here. So when she reverses an opponent's character by battle, and you have the Taiyaki Keyholder in your climax border, you can search your deck for a transformation or housework character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So every time you kill something with this with the climax, you search your deck for a character, which is really good. Next up, we got 4 of these Mekons. Oops, get the hollow one up top. 1045 housework trait. She gets 500 power for every housework or transformation character on the field. So with a full field, she'll be 6/5 before assist. Next up, 3 of these Yamis. 1135 transformation trait. She's a 500 on front assist. So characters, or I'm sorry, transformation and housework characters in front of her gain plus 500 power and hand encore. And she also combos with the same gold bar. So she combos with Taiyaki Keyholder. So when you play the gold bar onto your climax border, you choose a character and give it plus 2k power till the end of the turn. So not too shabby. Next up, we got 3 of these 1-0 backups. 1-0, 2k. So first of all, it's a 1k backup. However, when you use this backup, if the battling character is a transformation or housework, you give the battling character an additional 1k. So it has to be the battling character, so you can't split it like you can do in SAO. You have to give it to the battling character, but still really good. Lastly, for level 1, we have 2 of these events, 1-1 event. When you play this event, you can search your deck for up to 1 transformation and up to 1 housework character. Show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. And also discard a card afterwards. So keep in mind, you must search for 1 transformation and 1 housework, so you can't grab 2 transformation characters like you can't grab this. You can't grab 2 housework characters. You have to grab 1 and 1. But still really good. Good hand fixing and a good way to search out your deck and thin on your deck at the same time at all stages of the game. So very, very solid. So 4, 8, 11, 14, 16 levels 1s. Really 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 16 level 1s. Lots and lots of level 1s. But that's because we run only 1 level 2, and it's this one right here. 217k transformation trait. Oh, I'm sorry, housework trait, Mekon. So what she does is she gets plus 1k every time another transformation or housework character attacks. So if the other 2 characters attack, she'll be 9k. And also her other effect is when she attacks and the battling character is a level 3. So for example, if the battling character is a level 3, she gets plus 3k till the end of the turn. So if your other characters attack, she'll be 9k. And if she's attacking level 3, 12k. So 12k before assist if she's fighting level 3 and she attacks last. So it's okay. Just one of these. On to level 3. This is when the fun really starts. So 3295 housework trait Mekon. What she does is she heals on play, and she has another effect of she gets 500 per for every transformation or housework character on the field. So with a full field before assist, she's an 11/5 and she heals. So that's about it. Next up, one of these Mias, 3295 transformation trait. So what she does is during your turn, she gets plus 1k for every other transformation or housework character. So with a full field before assist, she's 13/5 on offense, which is really good. And she has another ability. When she's played from hand to stage, you can look at top X cards on your deck, and then choose one of them, add it to your hand, and X is the number of transformation or housework characters. So the full field with a full field, if you play her last, you look at top 5 and add one of those to your hand. And lastly, the scariest part about this deck, we got 4 of these level 3 Yami. So 3285 transformation trait. The 8/5 might seem a little weak, but it's really not because of her effect. So she has her first effect is if you have a full field, or if all your characters are transformation or housework characters, she will gain plus 1500 power and the following ability of she cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects So no wind trigger, no anti-damage, no anti-change, even though she can't really be targeted by anti-change. Well, actually she can, so no anti-damage, no anti-change, and no wind trigger. So really good. And she has other abilities on play. You can draw 2, discard a card. And lastly, she climax combos with this wind trigger right here. So when this card declares an attack with the wind trigger, she gains the effect. She and another character gains the effect of when the damage of this card is cancelled, deal 1 to your opponent. So keep in mind, she gains it, and you choose another character and you give it. So you can't give it to her herself. Like you play the wind trigger, you attack, she gains the flare trigger, and you choose one of your other characters. So choose this, and then it gains the flare trigger as well. So burn on cancel. Very, 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 very scary card. And I'll explain more why, I guess, when we go to how to play the deck level by level. And lastly, for level 3, we play 3 of these backups. 3/3 backup. Pretty much, when you play this backup, choose a battling character, and it gains the following effect where this card cannot deal damage. So, of course, choose your opponent's character. They cannot deal damage for the turn. Very good. And also, it gives plus 1500 power. And then after you give a character plus 15, the plus 15 is really irrelevant, mainly just here for the anti-damage. So yeah, very good. And that's it for level 3. Quite a lot of level 3s. 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 level 3s, but we're playing 3 backups, so it doesn't really count. And on to climaxes, I'm sure you guys can guess. 4 wind triggers and 4 gold bars. Very simple. On to how to play the deck level by level. Level 0 is fairly weak. Your beaters consist of these Mias, this Mikon, this Yami. Doesn't hit the highest power ever either, and the deck doesn't have a Suicider, so if you find something really hard to deal with, you just kind of have to suck it up. So you kill stuff with these cards. Utility level 0s are really good. Anti-salvage and mill on 3, very solid. Brainstorm, very solid. This card, since the level 0 is kind of lackluster, it's pretty good to push yourself to level 1 with this card faster, and you get to get some cards out of it at the same time. So, very solid, or it's alright. So like I said, beaters, utility level 0s, and then just try to hang tight to level 1. By level 1, you want to have your back row somewhat established. Try to get one of these 2 in your back row, or both, not too shabby. Mainly I do something like this. So, on to level 1, let's say you have this in the back row. And then try to get this Mikon in the back, try to get this Yami in the back row, because giving the 500 power and the hand encore is very nice, but it's also very important because it combos with the gold bar. Throughout level 1, and pretty much starting level 1 and throughout the rest of the game, every time you can combo successfully with these Mikons, I would definitely consider doing so, because there's quite a lot of benefits. You get power, you push for more damage, and you search out a character, if you do manage to reverse your opponent's character, all for no cost, which is very, very good. And this Mikon hits okay numbers, because she's 5/5, because all your characters are transformation and housework. 6k, 7k, don't forget she combos with this too, so 8, 9. So, usually one Mikon usually hits 9k on offense if you do have this setup, which is pretty strong, and usually you should be able to get a reverse or 2 off throughout the game. So yeah, every time you can get a Climax Combo reverse off, try to do so, and the more you can get, the merrier. And it's really easy to do so because, gold bar is gold bar, and it's really easy to get gold bar to your hand. Just keep attacking, you trigger a gold bar, cool, add it to your hand, and next turn your opponent should be prepared to stop the Mikons. So very solid. And of course your other beaters are, these Mikons right here. 6/5 before assist with a full field, so let's say 6/5, 7k. 7k, not too shabby. And then you play the gold bar, 8k, and then 9k, 10k. So she can go hit up to 10k with the gold bar, and if you target her with that. So the deck can hit pretty decent numbers because of the combo, and the deck can get more hand size thanks to this combo. So yeah. And don't forget your little characters. Your characters in front of Yami will have hand encore. So usually I try to keep these Mikons around because Keeping these Mekons around are good because you always have the threat of triggering a gold bar and then playing it next turn. And like I said, every time you can gold bar successfully, combo, really, really good. So yeah, just combo and beat shit up with this. You're not too shabby. The deck's not too shabby on defense either, thanks to the 2K backup. 2K backup, 1-0 2K backup, really, really solid. If your deck has it, you pretty much should run it. So, you know, these guys aren't too shabby on defense. Let's say, for example, you know, 6K, 8K defense, 9K defense, not too bad at all. And the game this setup is fairly easy thanks to this event. This event, very solid. Like I said, you search your deck for a transformation and housework character. If I play this event level 1, the transformation character I grab is usually Yami. And the housework character I usually grab is Mekon, this one right here. So usually I grab these two. If I already have a Yami on my hand or on the field, I usually grab a Mia. And I already have like 2 of these or 3 of these. And usually I'll just grab this Mekon. So very straightforward. This event really good at setting up your hand. And it thins out your deck at the same time. And you can discard a card from your hand. So, you know, you can discard excess climaxes from your hand. Not too hard in this deck to discard with 8 climaxes in your waiting room because of the Mekons, the 0-0, and the 1-1 event. So yeah, very solid event all throughout the game. But like I said, level 1, grab one of these 2 or one of these 2, and you should be good to go for level 1. Starting level 2, it's the exact same thing. Like I said, we only have one level 2 in the deck. Oh, I almost forgot. Oh, where'd she go? Pushi Mekon, really good with level 0, with the level 1 as well, because she can hit more power with the Pushi Mekon. But my friend only has one Pushi Mekon because it's pretty expensive, and he doesn't want to buy any more Pushi Mekons. The deck is already fairly expensive as it is, so you know, if you can get 4 of these, then you're pretty good. But anyways, level 2 is the exact same as level 1, same game plan, but if your opponent has a level 3 that comes out at level 2, which will most likely be the case since many strong sets do have cards that do come out, level 3s that do come out at level 2, usually your answer is this Mekon. There's no anti-change, and you don't play level 3 at level 2, so this is kind of your only answer to that. Like I said, she can hit pretty strong, like let's say with this, you attack, she's 9k, she's fighting a level 3, she'll be 12k, 12-5, let's say you gold bar, 13-5, a pump, 14-5, 15-5, so that should be good enough. But yeah, usually like I said, level 1, same game plan, level 2, same game plan, but if they play level 3 at level 2, try to kill it with this Mekon. If it works out, good. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. So just try to stay strong. Just try to, make sure you're keeping the same pace as your opponent. Starting at level 2, however, I would say you should definitely start looking for the Yamis. Start grabbing them to your hand. The more Yamis you can get, the better. Searching out for Yamis, I'm A-okay with that because she is just too devastating at level 3. Starting level 2, I would highly recommend to start searching out these Yamis. It's not too bad grabbing these Yamis. You can brainstorm for them. Starting at level 2, every time I successfully get a combo off, I would start searching for these Yamis. So, once again, the deck doesn't have any salvage. So once they hit the waiting room, you gotta wait an entire refresh to get them back. So I would say just grab them now, then later. Early, mid-level 2, just start grabbing the Yami. So combo, grab Yami. Brainstorm, grab Yami. And this event, still really good. Grab the Yamis, and then you can still grab the Mekons. So yeah, start at level 2, just start planning ahead to kill your opponent. And then level 3 is when your opponent dies. You play the Yami, and the Yami. And then you destroy them, kill their hopes and dreams with the win trigger right here. So, like I said, on attack, she gains the flare trigger, and you choose another character and they gain the flare trigger as well. So there's multiple ways you can go about this. So usually the idea is to get triple Yami and then just kill your opponent from there. For example, when she attacks, she has a flare trigger and you choose one of the other Yamis. So for example, I'll choose the middle Yami. So this one has 1 stack of flare trigger. And then, so she has 1 stack. So attack, deal 3, the cancel burn 1, cool. Now this Yami attacks, you can choose this same Yami, and now she has another flare trigger. And so, attack for 3, they cancel burn 1. Now this Yami attacks, but she chooses another character, so let's say this one gets a burn. But it doesn't matter because she already attacked, so it's pretty irrelevant. But keep in mind, now she has 3 stacks. One from this, and one from herself. So she has 3 stacks of burn trigger on herself. And it does stack. So let's say your opponent is taking damage. So you trigger, no trigger. So you're taking 3 damage. So your opponent goes 1, 2, cancel. Okay. So now they're taking 1 damage 3 times. They're not taking 3 damage. 3 damage 1 at a time. It's a pretty big difference. So it goes 1, oh, cancel. Oh, you have 1 more left. 1. So that's the difference. It's not 3 damage 1 at a time, because if it was, it'd be 1, 2, or 1, cancel, over. It's 1, 1, 1. And that's pretty damn scary. And if your opponent's like at 3, 5, and they're taking 3 damage 1 at a time, they're probably going to die. So that's one way you can go about that. You can go 1, 1, 3, 1 flare trigger, 3 flare trigger, or you can go 1, 2, 2. Like 1, she has a flare trigger, give it to her. Now she has 2, so 1, 2, and then give it to her. So you could go 1, 2. Once again, her last one whiffs because it doesn't matter. But still, that's how you can do about it. You can go 1, 1, 3 or 1, 2, 2. And like I said, it's really, really scary. And this may sound like a little too optimistic, a little too far-fetched, but it's really not. You can get this off really consistently because, like I said, starting at level 2, you start searching out the Yamis, and so you can get triple Yami in your hand. And as you can see, the deck is fairly costless. Like level 2, you pay like no stock, only 1 stock for the level 2 Mekon. Level 0, no stock. All you pay stock is to freaking brainstorm and to play your 1/1 events. Besides that, there's almost no stock paying, so you can get a ton of stock by level 3, and you can have all these Yamis in your hand because the deck has a lot of good ways to search. Getting the Wind Trigger in your hand is also fairly easy because don't forget, these Yamis have to draw 2, discard 1 ability on play. So if you're fairly compressed and you have a lot of Wind Triggers left in your deck, you can go, draw 2, ditch 1. Did I find the Wind Trigger? No. Draw 2, ditch 1. Did I find the Wind Trigger? No. Draw 2, ditch 1. Did I find the Wind Trigger? Yes. And now your opponent dies. So the draw 2, ditch 1 really, really helps getting this combo off consistently. Super, super, super easy to get. And if you don't find the Wind Trigger, don't forget we still got Mia here to save the day. Don't forget, on play, she checks top X, where X is the number of transformation or housework characters you control. So the full field should look at top 5. So like you could do draw 2, ditch 1. Draw 2, ditch 1. Did you find the Wind Trigger? Nope. Mia, check top 5. So at this point, you're checking top 9 cards of your deck, and by then, there's a pretty good chance you have found the Wind Trigger. And she can add climaxes to your hand, so she's kind of like the backup plan. If you don't find the Wind Triggers with your Yamis, find the Wind Trigger with your Mia, and you should, usually you do find the Wind Trigger. And once you find the Wind Trigger, they're pretty much dead. And this isn't too bad either. You go like 1, give it to Mia, 1, give it to Mia, and now Mia has like 2 flare trigger stacks, So it's fairly good. Triple Yami is ideal, but this is perfectly fine too. Or like this and Mekon. This is also really good. And because the deck is pretty fast paced, like the Yamis do so much damage, that's kind of why we only run 2 healers, because your game plan isn't really to out heal your opponent and to win in a grindy game. You're just gonna kill them with the triple Yami, so that's why only 2 healers. But if your opponent does survive the triple Yami, or the double Yami, or like a single Yami, your defense isn't too bad either because of the Nemesis backup. Once again, anti-damage, very good, wins a lot of games, pretty annoying to play around, and yeah, anti-damage keeps you strong on defense. And keep in mind the combo is costless, so even after triple Yami, and if they don't die, 3 attacks, you're guaranteed 1 anti-damage backup. So they attack, you anti-damage. Don't forget, you still have hand encore, so just hand encore these. And then next turn, just if you have another Wind Trigger or draw into it, then they're definitely dead. 1 Yami combo, your opponent can't survive, 2 Yami combos, very difficult. 3 Yami combos, I haven't seen anyone ever survive triple Yami 3 times. So usually 2 will get the job done. And sustaining the hand encore at level 3 isn't too difficult either, because don't, once again, draw 2, ditch 1. They all replace themselves in your hand. So, like, at level 3, you have a high threat triple Yami and just killing your opponent there. You have a good way to find the win trigger because of the triple Yami, draw 2, ditch 1. You have good hand size to sustain the hand encore, and you're kind of hard to kill because of the anti-damage backup. And don't forget, they're hex-proof. They can't be targeted by opponent's card effects, so they can't anti-damage your Yamis. They just have to accept it and die. So yeah, that's pretty much level 3 game plan. Just try to kill them with Yamis. Search out the win triggers with Yamis and Miyas, and try to heal with Mikon every once in a while. Keep yourself alive with the anti-damage, and the deck just flows all together very well at the end, where you do have enough stock to do this, you have enough hand size to sustain this, and you have enough stock to sustain the anti-damage. So yeah, the deck flows, synergizes very, very well with all each other. So yeah, very, very scary. At least one thing is the deck isn't that strong on offense, because there are only like 10 5s, 11 5s, so they're fairly weak on offense, but still very scary. And I guess on to some alternatives. Honestly, there's not much alternatives because the deck, as you can see, is so trait dependent. Like, it's so focused on the transformation and housework traits. There's not that much alternatives you can be running just because this is a single booster. So there's not that much, but there's a couple I would like to point out. I guess first and foremost is this card is called Taiyaki Keyholder. And this card is also called Taiyaki Keyholder, so they have the exact same name. So your Mikons and your Yami, they can both combo with either of these. The gold bar, I think, is much more preferred. Much more players choose to run the gold bar just because of how easy it is to get to your hand. And like I said, the more gold bar combos you can get, the better. So I think gold bar is much more popular, and I would have to agree that it's a lot better. But I think you can get away with running maybe one. Like, you can run 3 gold bars and 1 stock 1 soul if you like. Just because stock 1 soul is really good, you know, get the extra stock, push for more damage. You miss out on the power, but gaining the extra stock can be pretty substantial. So if you want to try 1 Taiyaki Keyholder, I'd say go ahead. Or 1 stock 1 soul, go ahead, because you go 3 gold bar, 1 stock 1 soul, and I think that'd be alright. But definitely I would recommend not going under 2 gold bars. Like, I would just keep 3 gold bars. I wouldn't go under that, but just something I'd like to throw out there. Also, Puchi Yami. I should probably add this to the deck, but I just can't find space. But Puchi Yami, anyways, during your turn, if all your characters are transformation and housework, she gets plus 2k, so she's 7k during your turn, which is really solid. My friend only owns one of these because I think they're kind of expensive. I think they're like 1,200 yen, if I remember correctly. So, and like I said, my friend doesn't want to really spend any more money on this deck, and I'm not going to spend money on this guy's deck, you know what I'm saying? So, I should probably add one of these, but I can't find space, but I'll probably try to make space. But, you know, I would say if you want to run 1 or 2 of these, I think that'd be really good, because 7k offense, not too shabby at all. One of these, the deck doesn't have much of a level 2 game plan, so having this can be quite nice. Her first effect is, if all your characters are transformation and housework, she gets plus 2k, so she'll be a 2/1 9k. And I believe she resonates. Whoops, camera died, talking to a dead camera for a while. But anyways, as I was saying with this 2/1 Yami, if you have a full character, if all your character transformation and housework, she gets plus 2k. And when she reverses an opponent's character, you can pay cost, which is pay 1, reveal the level 3 in your hand. If you do, you get to draw a card. Not too shabby. She's 2/1 9k, not the greatest, but I mean, it's alright. And when you kill anything, you get to pay 1, draw a card. Not too bad either, because by level 2, you probably have one of these in your hand. And you get to get cards out of it at the same time. And you can kill anything, which is nice. Like, you kill a level 0, kill it, draw a card. Not too shabby at all. And this art, man, is like, Jesus. Anyways, and the last card is this level 0 Mia, 001K transformation trait, 500 global for transformation and housework trait, and she also resonates with the same level 3. During the start of your climax phase, you can pay cost, which is pay 2, reveal the level 3 Yami in your hand. If you do, look at top 2 cards of your deck, put one of them to your hand, and put the other to the waiting room. Pretty much the exact same thing as level 0 Mia, except the timing is different and the cost is different. So climax phase, pay 2, reveal, and this one on reverse, pay 1 clock. So you get the same benefit out of this one. And this one's not too bad because you already have like a level 0 assist in this Mekon, and you have a lot of back row characters. But sometimes she's nice because sometimes the deck is so costless, as you see, like level 1, level 0, even level 2, it can be fairly difficult to pay out stock. And sometimes I want to pay out a lot of stock with this Mia. Like for example, let's say you attack 3 times. You know, attack, climax, attack, character, attack, character. It's like really difficult to pay out this stock or this climax at that point because the deck, like I said, is so costless. What are you going to do? Like you could, like right now, you could brainstorm, you could use the 1/1 event, and you could play the 1/1. But besides that, it can be fairly difficult to like pay out this climax. It's just like everything is just too costless, you know. So I think sometimes having the somewhat stock intensive pay 2 to look at top 2, add 1 to hand can be nice because it's a good way to clean out climaxes from your stock. And the 500 global is also nifty as well. So yeah, that's another card I want to mention. And the last card I do not have, but I will mention it. It's the 00 Yami from the trial deck. She's a trial deck exclusive. Pretty much on play, she gets plus 1500 power for the turn, but she also has another effect where on play you can pay 1, discard a card. If you do, look for your deck for a transformation household character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand. So it's a generic searcher, but she gets more power on play. It's quite nice. I would say you could run one of those because, once again, it's another way to pay out stock, and it's a good way to discard climaxes and to get a search out at the same time. So I would consider running 1 or 2 of those if you do have a way to get those. My friend personally does not have any of those, and like I said, he doesn't really want to spend any more money on this deck. So definitely try to get 1 or 2 of those, in my opinion. But besides that, that's about it. You can change the ratios around like always. If you don't want to run Mia, go for it. I see a lot of lists not run her. My friend really likes his Mia, so we're keeping it at 1. So, but if you don't want to run Mia, then you can just run none. Bump up the healers, you know, run 3, 4 healers, whatever you want. If you have the money or if you find the opportunity to, you can run like 4 Poochie Mekons because she's really good, just really expensive. So, but if you do have the means to get it, by all means, you go ahead and try. But yeah, that's it for this deck profile, guys. I hope I explained to you guys. I hope I explained well enough to why the deck is fairly powerful right now. As of right now, the deck is really strong, tops a lot of tournaments in Japan for many reasons, and I hope I did a good job explaining that to you guys. So if you guys are looking for a powerful deck and don't mind spending a bit of money into, you know, strong deck and with really cute girls, and you don't mind spending money, I would highly advise To Love Your Darkness because it's just super fun and good, and they're really cute. And like I said, the deck is getting another set, so maybe this is a sign that they'll keep making more sets for To Love Your Darkness. So maybe To Love Your Darkness will have a strong future. Maybe they'll just keep getting more sets and more sets. We'll see. But even as a standalone single booster set, very, very powerful. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time.